Humanity's expansion into the stars had been driven by curiosity, necessity, and a desire for survival. The year was 2153, and Earth was now a bustling hub of interstellar activity. As humanity settled on numerous planets and developed trade routes, the United Earth Federation, UEF, established a powerful fleet to protect its interests and citizens. The flagship of this fleet was the Valkyrie, a state-of-the-art warship commanded by Captain Elias Drake. Captain Drake was a seasoned veteran, known for his strategic brilliance and calm demeanor under pressure. His crew consisted of the best the UEF had to offer: Lieutenant Marin, his second-in-command and a tactical genius; Engineer Boone, a prodigy with machines; and Stahl, an alien diplomat from the Venari species, who had become an invaluable member of the crew. One quiet morning, as the Valkyrie patrolled the edge of UEF space, a sudden urgent distress signal crackled through the ship's communication systems. The message was garbled, filled with static and interference, but one word stood out clearly: help. Drake immediately ordered the Valkyrie to trace the signal. The source was a nearby, uncharted planet in a remote system. Despite the risk, Drake knew they had to investigate. "Marin, set a course," he commanded. The crew moved with practiced efficiency, and soon the Valkyrie was hurtling through space towards the unknown planet. The Valkyrie descended onto the barren, rocky surface of the planet. The landscape was harsh, with jagged mountains and a blood-red sky. There were no signs of life or civilization, only endless expanses of desolate terrain. As the landing ramp lowered, Captain Drake led his team out, equipped with advanced scanning equipment and weapons. Their journey across the surface was arduous. The ground was unstable, and the atmosphere was thin and cold. Despite the inhospitable conditions, the crew pressed on, guided by the beacon of the distress signal. Finally, after several hours of trekking, they found the source, a crashed alien vessel, unlike any they had seen before. The ship was massive, its sleek design marred by the crash. It was clear that it had been a fierce battle. Drake signaled for caution as they approached the wreck. "Stay alert," he warned. "We don't know what we're dealing with yet." Inside the wreck, they discovered a group of survivors from the Zilroth civilization. These reptilian beings were known for their advanced technology and formidable combat skills. They lay injured and weak, their expressions filled with a mix of pain and relief at seeing their rescuers. Drake and his team quickly moved to assist the Zilroth survivors. Using medical supplies and equipment, they tended to the worst of the injuries. As the Zilroth regained their strength, their leader, Commander Zir, stepped forward to speak. His scales shimmered in the dim light, and his eyes bore the weight of recent trauma. "Thank you for your assistance," Zir began, his voice a low, guttural rumble. "We are the last of our crew. Our ship was attacked by a species known as the Tridex. They are a ruthless, hive-minded race of insectoid warriors. They seek to conquer and enslave all in their path. We were their latest victims." Drake listened intently, realizing the gravity of the situation. The Tridex were not just a threat to the Zilroth, but to humanity and potentially the entire galaxy. "We cannot allow the Tridex to continue their campaign of destruction," Drake said firmly. "Commander Zir, we will help you." Zir nodded, a glimmer of hope in his eyes. "Together we might stand a chance. Our technology and your bravery could turn the tide." Back on the Valkyrie, Drake and Zir began to formulate a plan. They needed to understand their enemy better, gather intelligence, and prepare for what was sure to be a series of brutal encounters. The alliance between humans and Zilroth was born out of necessity, but it held the promise of a powerful partnership. The battle against the Tridex had just begun. Back aboard the Valkyrie, the atmosphere was tense, as Drake, Zir, and the senior officers gathered in the briefing room. The holographic projector in the center of the table displayed a detailed map of known Tridex territory, based on the Zilroth's intel. Drake began the meeting, his expression grave. "Commander Zir, tell us everything you know about the Tridex. We need to understand their strengths, weaknesses, and tactics if we're going to stand a chance against them." Zir stepped forward, his reptilian features hardened by the memories of recent battles. "The Tridex are a hive-minded race, operating with a level of coordination and efficiency that is unparalleled. Each individual tridex is connected to the hive through a complex neural network, making them incredibly difficult to outmaneuver. They have advanced bioorganic technology, including ships that are essentially living organisms. He pointed to a specific point on the holographic map. This is their nearest stronghold. It's heavily fortified, and from there, they launch raids on nearby systems. If we can gather more intelligence on their operations there, we might find a way to disrupt their network and slow their advance. Lieutenant Marin leaned in, studying the map. We need to get inside that stronghold. A direct assault would be suicide, but if we can infiltrate it, we might be able to gather the data we need. Drake nodded. Agreed. We need a small team to go in, get the information, and get out without being detected. Marin, Boone, you'll lead the infiltration. Satal, your expertise in alien technology might be crucial here. Zir, can you spare any of your people to assist? Zir nodded. I'll send my best operative, Zin. She's skilled in reconnaissance and stealth. In the days that followed, the crew of the Valkyrie and the Zilroth survivors worked together to prepare for the mission. Boone and Jin collaborated to upgrade the Valkyrie's systems with Zilroth technology, enhancing their stealth capabilities. Satal and Zir shared knowledge on Tridex biology and tactics, developing countermeasures for their bioorganic weapons. Drake called the infiltration team to the armory for a final briefing. This mission is dangerous, but it's our best chance to gather the intel we need to fight the Tridex. Remember, speed and stealth are crucial. Get in, get the data, and get out. Marin nodded, her face set with determination. We'll get it done, Captain. As the team boarded the Valkyrie's shuttle, the rest of the crew watched in silence. The success of this mission could determine the fate of countless worlds. Drake stood on the bridge, his eyes fixed on the shuttle's progress. He knew the risks, but he had faith in his crew. The shuttle glided silently through the darkness of space, its advanced cloaking technology rendering it invisible to Tridex sensors. As they approached the Tridex stronghold, Marin and Boone ran final checks on their equipment. Zin monitored the shuttle systems, her reptilian eyes sharp and focused. We're coming up on the stronghold, Marin announced, her voice steady. Remember the plan, stick to the shadows, avoid direct confrontation, and gather as much data as possible. The shuttle landed in a hidden alcove near the perimeter of the stronghold. The team disembarked, moving swiftly and silently through the twisted organic corridors. The interior of the stronghold was a maze of living tissue and machinery, pulsating with an eerie bioluminescence. As they navigated the corridors, they encountered several Tridex drones. Using their stealth suits, they managed to avoid detection, slipping past the patrols and deeper into the heart of the stronghold. Boone hacked into a terminal, downloading schematics and data on Tridex operations. Suddenly, a patrol of Tridex warriors appeared around a corner. The team froze, blending into the shadows. Marin signaled for them to hold their positions, praying the stealth technology would hold. The Tridex warriors paused, their antennae twitching as if sensing something, but then moved on, unaware of the intruders. Breathing a sigh of relief, the team continued their mission. They reached the central chamber, where a massive bioorganic computer controlled the hive network. Satal and Boone began downloading data, their fingers flying over the controls. We're almost there, Boone whispered, his voice tense. Just a few more seconds. Suddenly, an alarm blared through the stronghold. The Tridex had detected their presence. We need to move now, Marin ordered. With the data in hand, the team raced back through the corridors, the sound of Tridex warriors closing in behind them. They fought their way to the shuttle, Zin and Marin covering their retreat with precision fire. As the shuttle lifted off, the stronghold erupted in chaos below them. The team returned to the Valkyrie, exhausted but triumphant. They had the data they needed to strike back against the Tridex. Drake met them at the airlock, his expression one of pride and relief. Excellent work, everyone, he said. This is the first step towards turning the tide in this war. With the data from the stronghold, they could now plan their next move. The battle against the Tridex was far from over, but humanity and its allies were ready to fight back. The data retrieved from the Tridex stronghold proved invaluable. It contained detailed schematics of their hive network, strategic plans, and weaknesses. Drake and his team worked tirelessly to analyze the information and devise a plan to strike back. The Valkyrie, now equipped with advanced Zealroth technology, was ready for action. In the war room of the Valkyrie, the holographic map displayed the Tridex outpost they planned to target next. Drake stood at the head of the table, surrounded by his senior officers and Zealroth allies. "Our objective is clear," he began. "We will launch a coordinated attack on this outpost. Disabling it will disrupt their supply lines and weaken their defenses." Commander Zir added, "We will divide our forces. The Valkyrie will lead the main assault, while a detachment of Zealroth ships will flank from the east. Timing is crucial. We must hit them hard and fast before they can mount a counteroffensive." Lieutenant Marin, studying the map, noted, "We'll need to neutralize their communications array first. If they call for reinforcements, we'll be overwhelmed." Drake nodded. "Agreed. Boone, you'll lead a strike team to disable their communications. Marin, coordinate our attack patterns. Satal, ensure our diplomats are ready to handle any negotiations that might arise with other factions in the area. Let's make this count." As the crew prepared for battle, the mood aboard the Valkyrie was a mix of determination and anticipation. The stakes were high, but they were ready. The ship moved into position, and the combined human and Zealroth fleet loomed large against the backdrop of the stars. The order to attack came swiftly. The Valkyrie surged forward, weapons blazing. The initial volley of plasma cannons and laser fire tore through the Tridex defenses. Explosions rocked the outpost as the Tridex scrambled to respond. Boone's strike team infiltrated the base, quickly disabling the communications array. The main assault proceeded with precision, the Zealroth ships striking from the east, catching the Tridex off guard. With the communications array down, the Tridex outpost was thrown into disarray. The Valkyrie and its allies pressed their advantage, exploiting every weakness. The battle raged on, each side fiercely contesting control of the outpost. On the ground, Boone and his team fought their way through waves of Tridex warriors. The air was thick with the smell of burning bioorganic material and the sounds of combat. Boone's tactical expertise shone through as he directed his team, their movements precise and deadly. Back in space, Drake piloted the Valkyrie with unmatched skill, weaving through enemy fire and delivering devastating blows to the Tridex ships. The Zealroth fleet, led by Commander Zir, provided crucial support, their advanced weaponry cutting through the enemy ranks. Despite their formidable resistance, the Tridex were gradually overwhelmed. The outpost's defenses crumbled under the relentless assault. As the last of the Tridex ships were destroyed, a cheer erupted among the Allied forces. The battle was won. Drake took a moment to survey the battlefield, his heart swelling with pride. "We've done it," he said, his voice carrying through the comms. "This is a major victory, but we can't let our guard down. The Tridex will retaliate. We need to be ready." The data they had gathered from the outpost provided even more insights into the Tridex's operations and plans. With this new intelligence, they could anticipate the enemy's next moves and continue to disrupt their campaigns. In the aftermath of the battle, the human and Zealroth forces gathered to assess their next steps. The victory had not only dealt a significant blow to the Tridex, but had also strengthened the bond between the two species. They had proven that together, they could achieve great things. Drake and Zir convened a meeting with their key officers and diplomats. "We need to take this alliance to the next level," Drake said. "Our combined strength has made us a formidable force, but we need to bring more civilizations into this fight. The Tridex threaten all of us." Satal spoke up, her voice filled with conviction. "There are many who would join us if they knew we could protect them. We need to reach out, offer them hope, and a chance to stand together." Commander Zir agreed. "The Zealroth will support these efforts. We have contacts among other species that may be willing to join our cause. United, we can form a coalition strong enough to push the Tridex back and secure peace for the galaxy." The decision was made to convene a summit of potential allies. The Valkyrie and a delegation of Zealroth diplomats set out to contact various civilizations, extending an invitation to join the coalition. The response was overwhelmingly positive. Species from across the galaxy, each with their unique strengths and abilities, pledged their support. The Galactic Council, a governing body of multiple alien civilizations, took notice of the burgeoning alliance. They summoned Drake, Zur, and their delegates to discuss the Tridec's threat and the potential for a larger coalition. The Council, impressed by the cooperation and success of the Human-Zilroth alliance, agreed to provide additional support in the form of resources and troops. As preparations for the summit continued, Drake reflected on the journey so far. They had faced incredible odds and emerged victorious. The future was uncertain, and the war was far from over, but for the first time, there was a sense of hope. Humanity and its allies were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their resolve to protect their worlds and secure a lasting peace. The Galactic Council's Grand Chamber was an awe-inspiring sight. Representatives from countless civilizations filled the vast room, each bringing their unique perspectives and strengths. Captain Drake and Commander Zur stood before the assembly, ready to present their case. Drake began, his voice steady and clear. "Honored members of the Galactic Council, we stand before you today united by a common threat. The Tridecs have wrought destruction across the galaxy, enslaving and exterminating entire civilizations, but we have proven that they are not invincible. Together, humans and Zilroth have struck a decisive blow against them. Now, we ask for your support to form a coalition strong enough to defeat the Tridecs once and for all." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the assembly. The council members, representing a myriad of species with diverse appearances and cultures, exchanged thoughtful glances. An elder statesman from the peaceful Eolaran species stood and addressed the chamber. "The Tridecs have long been a scourge upon our galaxy," he said, "but never before have we seen such cooperation and success against them. The Eolaran people pledge our support to this coalition. Let us stand together against this common enemy." One by one, other representatives voiced their support. The formidable Kragar, the cunning Varani, the resilient Cathari, all pledged their resources and troops to the coalition. The Galactic Council formally recognized the alliance, and a wave of optimism spread through the chamber. With the Council's backing, Drake and Zur returned to the Valkyrie. They had gained not only military support, but also crucial resources and intelligence that would aid their efforts. The coalition's first goal was clear: a final assault on the Tridec's homeworld to destroy the heart of their hive network. The combined fleet of the coalition gathered at a staging area near the Tridec's homeworld. The sheer scale of the armada was staggering. Ships of all shapes and sizes, bristling with weaponry, prepared for the most significant battle the galaxy had ever seen. On the bridge of the Valkyrie, Drake addressed his crew. "This is it. The Tridecs have terrorized our galaxy for too long. Today, we end their reign of terror. Remember, we fight not just for ourselves, but for every civilization that has suffered at their hands. Let's make history." The fleet moved into position, and the order to attack was given. The initial wave of fighters surged forward, engaging the outer defenses of the Tridec's homeworld. The battle was fierce and chaotic, with ships clashing in a symphony of laser fire and explosions. The Tridecs, though formidable, were outmatched by the coalition's superior coordination and technology. Drake piloted the Valkyrie with unmatched precision, weaving through enemy fire and delivering devastating blows to Tridec ships. The Zilroth fleet, led by Commander Zur, unleashed a barrage of plasma weaponry that tore through the Tridec's defenses. The Eolarans provided crucial support, using their advanced shield technology to protect the coalition's ships. On the ground, coalition forces landed and engaged the Tridec's warriors in brutal combat. Boone led a team to disable key infrastructure, while Satal coordinated with allied diplomats to manage the coalition's diverse forces. The fighting was intense, but the coalition's determination and unity proved overwhelming. As the battle raged, the coalition forces pushed deeper into the Tridec's homeworld. They encountered fierce resistance, but their resolve never wavered. The Tridec's queen, the central node of their hive network, was their ultimate target. Destroying her would sever the hive mind and bring the Tridec's war machine to a halt. The final assault on the Queen's chamber was a brutal and desperate fight. The coalition forces fought their way through wave after wave of Tridex warriors, each more determined than the last. Drake, Zir, and their elite team led the charge, battling their way to the heart of the hive. The Queen's chamber was a nightmarish sight, filled with pulsating bioorganic structures and a pervasive sense of malevolence. The Tridex Queen, a towering and grotesque figure, commanded her warriors with a hive mind's cold, calculated precision. She hissed and screeched as the coalition forces entered, her eyes blazing with hatred. Drake and Zir fought side by side, their combined skills and determination driving them forward. Boone and Stahl provided crucial support, their technological expertise and combat prowess turning the tide in the coalition's favor. The battle reached a fever pitch as they closed in on the Queen. With a final, desperate push, Drake and Zir struck at the Queen. Their weapons found their mark, and with a shuddering scream, the Tridex Queen fell. The hive mind's connection was severed, and the remaining Tridex warriors faltered, their coordination shattered. The coalition forces rallied, quickly mopping up the remaining resistance. The battle was over. The Tridex were defeated. The galaxy was free from their tyranny. As the dust settled, Drake looked around at his comrades, a sense of pride and relief washing over him. "We did it," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "We stood together and fought as one. This victory belongs to all of us." The coalition forces celebrated their hard-won victory, knowing that their unity and determination had triumphed over a seemingly insurmountable foe. The galaxy, once plagued by fear and oppression, now had a chance to rebuild and thrive in peace. The battle was won, but the journey was far from over. The coalition would continue to work together, forging a new era of cooperation and mutual respect. Humanity and its allies had proven that even in the darkest of times, hope and unity could light the way to a brighter future. The aftermath of the battle against the Tridex was a time of both celebration and reflection. The galaxy had been liberated from a terrifying enemy, and the coalition forces returned to their respective worlds as heroes. On board the Valkyrie, the crew gathered in the Grand Hall, where Drake addressed them with pride. "Today we celebrate not just our victory, but the bonds we forged. Humanity, the Zilrath, and our many allies have shown that when we stand together, we are unstoppable. We've faced incredible odds and emerged victorious. This is a testament to our unity, courage, and determination." The hall erupted in cheers and applause, the joy of the moment palpable. Drake raised a glass. "To the coalition, may this alliance continue to thrive and protect the galaxy for generations to come." As the celebrations continued, Drake found a quiet moment to reflect on the journey that had brought them here. The galaxy was vast and full of mysteries, but the coalition had proven that they could face any challenge together. He knew that maintaining peace would require constant vigilance and cooperation, but he was confident that they were up to the task. In the weeks that followed, the coalition focused on rebuilding and strengthening their bonds. Diplomatic missions were launched to solidify alliances, and technological exchanges flourished, enhancing the capabilities of all member species. The Galactic Council, impressed by the coalition's success, granted it official recognition and support, providing a stable framework for continued collaboration. Drake, Zir, and other key leaders convened to discuss the future. "We have a unique opportunity," Drake said. "The Tridex were a formidable enemy, but there will be other challenges. We need to ensure that our coalition remains strong and adaptable." Zir nodded. "Agreed. The Zilrath will continue to share our technology and expertise. Together we can build a brighter future for all our worlds." Satal, ever the diplomat, added, "We must also focus on fostering understanding and cooperation among our peoples. The bonds we've forged in battle can be strengthened through cultural exchange and mutual respect." The coalition's efforts extended beyond military and technological collaboration. Initiatives were launched to promote education, trade, and cultural exchange. Schools and universities welcomed students from across the galaxy, fostering a new generation of leaders who valued diversity and cooperation. Boone and the Valkyrie's engineering team worked with Zielroth scientists to develop new advancements in space travel and communication. The innovations they created not only bolstered the Coalition's defenses, but also improved the quality of life for countless beings across the galaxy. Marin, always a strategic thinker, helped to establish a new defense network. This system, comprised of early warning stations and rapid response fleets, ensured that any future threats could be detected and addressed swiftly. The Coalition's military might was formidable, but it was their unity and shared purpose that truly made them strong. As the years passed, the Coalition grew and thrived. The legacy of the battle against the Tridex became a symbol of what could be achieved through unity and determination. The galaxy, once fragmented and fearful, now stood as a testament to the power of cooperation. On the bridge of the Valkyrie, Drake looked out at the stars, a sense of fulfillment washing over him. The journey had been long and arduous, but they had accomplished something truly extraordinary. The future was bright, and the Coalition was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The galaxy had been forever changed by the events that had transpired. The Coalition's success served as a beacon of hope, inspiring others to seek peace and cooperation. As new civilizations emerged and old ones flourished, the ideals of unity and mutual respect remained at the heart of the Coalition's mission. Captain Elias Drake and his crew had played a pivotal role in shaping this new era. Their names would be remembered in history, not just as warriors, but as architects of a better, brighter future for all. And as the Valkyrie continued its voyages through the stars, its mission was clear: to explore, to protect, and to uphold the values that had brought them victory. Humanity had proven its resilience and capacity for unity in the face of overwhelming odds. As Captain Drake stood on the bridge of the Valkyrie, looking out into the vast expanse of space, he knew that this was just the beginning of a new chapter for humanity and its allies. The stars held countless mysteries and challenges, but together they would face whatever came next.